jump down, gets off-angled as well, and here comes AGAL! Devastation for the side of Alpha 7.
They're down to just one man. Flashbacks of 2025 all over again, as this is where it could end. Obscure trapped miles away, unable to assist, down to such small margins, but it just seems like it's ended off the back of the collapse that comes their way.
Oh man, I do not want to be Obscure right now. I'll tell you that. The pressure has to be monumental. You can already see the look on the fans here for Alpha 7. Oh, they can feel what is imminent. But there's one player still up. It's not over until it's over. And Obscure looking for some plays, trying to get some eliminations, and not able to get the finish on the Flower H.
Gut-wrenching stuff. It could still go down to the wire. Obscure's just got to go absolute beast mode. Max energy from this man. That's what we need to see if they've still got a chance to keep themselves in the runnings to go to the finals. But the other squads are looking to build off the back of the weakness that's been shown in this lobby. Goat nearby. Alula again engaging to farm more points off of KRX. E-Arena scrapping against YG. That's Yang gone. Possibly going the same way as Alpha 7 if this carries on.
Alula losing a player there. Gonna go ahead and try to get the res off. Definitely want to keep an eye on some of these big contenders here in that top 6. Young Galacticos are trying to make a run for it though. But again, they need another 10+ eliminations and the win if they want it to happen. Gonna be pretty darn tough. Especially now with just 2 players. Honestly, it's pretty much, they're done. Yeah, they're counted out at this point, at least in my eyes, unless we see an absolute miracle. But are we gonna see the miracle from none other than Obscure? We'll have to see.
It's just such a ridiculous environment to be left in, man.
Oh.
The pressure from your team, the pressure from everyone that's on your side. We do see the pressure paying off for AGL of how they're playing it, though. 8 elims right now.
Woo! What a start for AGAL. Perfect, as a matter of fact. They have every single player up, the zone hard shifts down to them, and they have the high ground. This could be the comeback for AGAL. Their club championship is on the line here, and they're trying to make it happen for their organization. Ulf, on the other hand, still in the mix here with 67 points. Trying to pop shots onto Silence. He's able to barely get away from that one. And this is outside on the edge of the circle. Furia. Pretty much a lock here for the finals. At this point, they're just having their victory lap, but Ulf, job's not done yet. Trying to make it happen.
You've got to get so aggressive as well for Ulf. That point barrier slipping further and further away. AGAL take a swift headshot from Schweppes as he flicks over. Reply back onto Joker from Eren with the Mini 14. Furia on the move, but they're going to run into Yangon. The map geometry betrays them. They've got to bail out the vehicle. Romeo down on the deck. Man, it's been lit up.
And that is it. That is our PMWC champs out of there. We will not see a back-to-back victory. We will have a new champion in Paris. And it could be one of the teams that you are seeing here as Wolves is barely alive with 2 players. Furia putting in the work here in the final game, and Ulf trying to make a mad dash to the finals.
A lot to get done. Dopeness clashing versus Furia as well, with back and forth trades of blows, leaving it down to 2 players. Side of Furia just looking to farm some points on this one. Alula getting engaged versus the weakened E-Arena, while Hyunbin goes in on AGAL.
Here they go, Nongshim Red Force starting to get some eliminations here. That's devastating for Alpha 7. The worst case scenario for E-Arena as well. It's so easy is on the push, looking to eliminate AGAL, and they get another knock. And now AGAL looking done and dusted here with just 1 single player. And now it's down to Flower H, getting shot as well. So many points away now from that top 6. It's looking grim for AGAL.
In the midst of all that carnage, The last member of Alpha 7, Obscure, falls. They are out. And with that said, both of our prior champions of EWC here at the PMWC have been slain. Like Duke said, this year, another new champion will be crowned.
Oh. The third event for Alpha 7 to not make it into the finals. Back to the drawing board. Something has got to change, that's for sure. And hopefully we'll see that at the end of the year. But now we are here and now. Ulf eliminate Furia. Furia, don't gotta worry. They did enough here. We should see them in the finals. But with that start from Ulf, things are looking good as they still have 4 players up. Catch so experienced here. The whole team very, very seasoned going into this game. They're in 9th place right now. A win here could put them in the running. Wolves are on the chopping block. 2 players up, gotta survive.
Tied, 5th and 6th place. Go team that fell early into this game, and Wolves both have 78 points. Wolves still have a chance to bolster that and make it more, give themselves a chance to keep their heads above water. It's E-Arena and Ulf that are looking to clamber up and knock them out of those coveted spots. It's still all to play for here for a few of our squads.
Elementrix trying to keep the NA hopes alive as here they go. The bull drive out into the open. They're shimming, they're shaking, they're hitting that gas all the way to the floor, and it looks like they are able to make it up the hill for now.
Tuck into the map geometry and provide themselves at least a little bit of cover to buy a bit of time on this one and calm down, reset from it, pop the meds.
Oh, if you're a fan of the Wolves, you're just rooting for Alula and Noxium Red Force right now to wipe out this entire lobby, because they do have a decent point gap, right? I mean, they still have 7 points separating them from E-Arena, even a couple more for Ulf. But a chicken dinner here will get it done. AGAL, you gotta give it to them. Such a strong start with 9, but 9 isn't gonna do it. They need more.
Ula going in. This is onto the Wolves. They've really got to withstand the true test of the finals on this one.
Oh.
Elementrix goes down to Quick as the SMG hits him swift. That's only 1 player left.
Baton running for his life right now, trying to survive. All they need is just 1, 2 points. Any placement point is huge here. As a matter of fact, there's only 7 teams remaining. He's going to secure at least 1 placement point for his team, but you still got a lot of teams here that can put up big points on the board. Dopeness down there, actually getting a knock on a Soulless. That is huge. Ulf have to hang on.
We've still got a chance to do it justice on this one. Room to move up, Dukes is nowhere near secure for a lot of these teams.
Oh!
That's the reply you want, though. Nade on target. He's got to convert. The knock isn't enough. Can he look to get elims from this backline? Shots coming over from Nonshin as well as they spot out onto the last member of Wolves.
And he's making a lot of noise. That's the problem, though, right? He does get that knock, but he needs to survive longer, as long as possible. And that nade onto Aaron is gonna hurt, because he's completely isolated from the rest of his squad. That's gonna leave Ulf with 2 players up. E-Arena looking like the big threat here as they get a beautiful circle shift onto them. The Thai squad looking good. Dopeness are still in the mix here as they do end up getting a res on one of their players. They're not out of this just yet. If they win this game and take out this whole lobby, they can make it.
Just got to rise to the occasion. Down 1 man in the squad, but still playing like a full team with the mentality they've been bringing out here on the last game of the survival stage. Scarface taking pot shots back over to Nonshin Red Force up on the hillside. Dopeness down in the depths. Dizzy back on the move, regroup with the squad now. And Wolves, dire straits. You got that knock, but you couldn't convert it. To Alula back up to a full squad in the elevated position.
The pressure is on. It's Baton versus the world, trying to make
something happen for his team, and it's not gonna be enough. That's the Wolves out of there. And now they're gonna be just hoping that it's just enough. They do end up passing GOAT. That is huge. Let's see if they can hang on, because there's still 2 teams, even 3, that could make this happen.
If Nonshin and Alula just start absorbing some of the points from the squads down below, it could leave us in a more locked-in position. E-Arena and Ulf, the ones that are really trying to drag this one to the bitter end with a big finish. It looks like it could be best for E-Arena if they keep this up.
E-Arena broke a record, a PUBG Mobile record in Rondo in the group stage, and somehow are here in the survival stage. Nongshim Red Force, the last player of AGAL. It's Flower Age. It's done and dusted for that. And here comes E-Arena onto Nongshim Red Force, looking to turn things up. It's XVY though, making it happen against Mormon. Joker up close and personal with the shots, and that's Nongshim Red Force eliminated.
Massive plays. Gets into the back line, weaves through him, and shuts the squad down. Got to be swift with his decision-making, though. Pops the smoke, gets his teammates back up fast if he can. It all goes down to this then. Can they get enough out of this one? Finish off Ulf and leave themselves in a position to climb through and fight for that final spot.
Who is gonna get it? A must-win from both of these teams to be confident that you're making it into the finals. And it looks like, guys, we have an even matchup. It's gonna be a 3v3. Ulf versus E-Arena for all the marbles.
You know you've got to win this one. Clean up, take that chicken dinner, and do the best that you could physically do to guarantee yourself that chance of finals safely. They do restock. They get their HP back, had just enough time to reset. It will be a fair fight. 3 versus 3, everyone's topped up.
You can hear the crowd starting to make some noise. Ulf, such a seasoned team. E-Arena as well, red hot in this tournament. And it ends up with the 3v3 for your tournament life. Looks like Tourniquet is able to find an airdrop. That is huge at this point. Is able to be at least fully level 3'd out. Doesn't switch out for an air crate weapon, but he's still got that AUG. Tons of util on the side of E-Arena. Both have to be kitted out pretty well here. This is stage 8. This is it. This is the last circle. So this zone will go down into nothing. The first knock is so critical at this point.
One pick, one opening. You could start to flush your way through. You could full commit onto it and shut down the squad with the numbers advantage. Decent damage onto Mormon. He's got to give up that advanced position. Bails a nade back over, and Eren equalized. Both of them on low health.
Beep, beep. Back it up immediately. Get those heals off, reset, try again. Man, that one knock would have been brutal, though. Yeah, you can see immediately Tourniquet throwing out those smokes, trying to support his teammate, so that way he can get ready for the rest of this match. Tourniquet gonna be leaving it up to the, no more HP at all. That's it, no drinks, nothing. So this is exactly where he's gonna stay at. Tourniquet, about 70% HP, gets shot as well. Only bandages to make things even. He makes the peak though, puts some damage onto Scarface. Critical here, but Scarface gets some return shots as well, but Scarface is wide on the open.
They're sweating bullets right now. They don't want to overcommit. They don't want to be exposed. They want to be that first domino to fall and have everything collapse on top of you following it. They heal themselves back up, but that's the entry. Scarface goes in. Gangster level plays as he opens it up on Mormon. Joker looking for the reply. Claps back onto Eren, but he can't find any more. Crumbling down to only one member of E-Arena, and Joker trapped in the back with no health. They throw the nade right onto him, and that's the boom that gives them their best chance at going through to the finals.
Ulf Esports with the clutch chicken dinner, and woo, wipe that sweat off your forehead, baby. You have done it.
Gave it their all there, Jukes. Dire straits for both teams. The twist in the narrative. Our former champions cut down. Squads that were trying to clamber above them cut down. The realization of what's occurred for many of our teams starts to sink in. The hopes, the dreams, everything they put into the love of the game over the course of this season, culminating in the end of their run here and the beginning of the finals for some.
Man, you can see Catch, he excited, but still biting his nails, thinking, did we do it? Everyone's a math expert at this point, right? Just, was it enough to push them into that top 6? That's the question, but a clutch chicken dinner is always gonna get you excited here. So look at this last fight. That initial knock was so critical, and then Scarface, 4-3, gets it right at the end. A beautiful way to finish things out from such a reputable team here in PMWC. But man, some titans, Jackie, have fallen here today. A tough sight to behold every single time.
Yeah, some of the biggest, brightest, some legendary players, names that spark excitement just from having them on our screens, removed from the equation. Trying to figure out if they've made it through or not as all these players are running the numbers. And that's why it was such an intense final game here, Jukes. That's what we said this has been delivering in the survival stage. The fact that we're sat here trying to break down the numbers, waiting for the desk, it's tasty stuff.
We'll see if Ulf did it. We'll see if the Wolves were able to hang on there, as that would be an absolute miracle for the side of North America. But man, what a way to finish things out. A crazy performance. And you can see the look on Baton. He's blinking right now, just wondering, oh, was it enough? We'll find out here in just a minute, but I'll tell you one thing here, folks. The survival stage didn't disappoint at all.
Lived up to its name through and through. The sheer contrast of how this moment now feels for a lot of these players. You can see it there. A team like EK, they gave it their absolute all, Jukes.
Oh man, it was so close. So many teams could have gotten it done. It just came down to that last and final game. And you know, EK had some beautiful signs of life. They looked so rock solid and just weren't able to get it done at the end. And that's the tough part here, right? When you reach such a pinnacle tournament like the Esports World Cup. It really just comes down to who can clutch it up right there towards the end. Is he picking at some smiley faces? I see a lot of hearts. That's a good sign, right? But who knows where things are going to end up. We'll wait for the desk, of course, to break it down. But we do know the teams for sure that weren't able to make it. You can see the look on the faces of Alpha 7. Extremely disappointed here once again. And who knows what's going to happen. We know at the end of the year, PMGC coming around the corner. A lot of time to do some homework and come back strong then.
Yeah, got to remedy things and try and reset from it. It means so much to them. They always put blood, sweat, and tear into the game. Time and time again, they fight so hard. There's a reason why they've got such a passionate fan base, man. Really exciting team to watch. Fighting hard, Jukes. But this time around, it just feels like the level of competition has risen so high.
Yeah, so high indeed. It's tough to see such a historic squad that had a historic run, right? They won the World Cup a couple of years ago. They win the Global Championships last year, and then not able to make a final this year is rough, you know. But who knows? But this one is so great, right? Every single tournament, there's always somebody stepping up. And someone that's gonna step on the stage looking real good today is gonna be Barney. Let's take it on over to him for some big announcements.
Looking good today? Do I not look good every day, Jukes? That's just out of order. Okay, I'm joined by Tiamba here. The past 2 days were about survival, but for Tiamba, it was about dominance. An absolutely incredible performance over the last 2 days. I've got Eagle here standing next to me. Eagle, let's talk about today's result. Now, coming out of this in such a dominant fashion, has that made the team feel a lot more positive going into the finals?
那么这次生存赛呢，对所有的战队来说都是为了生存而战，但是对天霸来说，完全就是碾压性的遥遥领先。 那你们这次在这个生存赛打的发挥的那么好，是否对你们后面的淘汰赛，包括我们最终的决赛里面更有信心了呢？
信心是当然的，因为我们毕竟在澳门打得也很好啊，我觉得这就是我们的实力，对。
Definitely, we are feeling a lot more confident. We have been performing this well throughout a whole year, and honestly, the group stage was an anomaly. So our form is back, and we are feeling absolutely in peak form right now.
I love that. Tiamba are back on top. Right, let's have a little chat about today. Today's performance wasn't as dominant as yesterday, but it didn't really need to be. So I assume you guys came into today with a bit more of like a passive approach. Did you feel like you were going to get targeted, or did you target any specific teams to make your finals run that bit easier?
那么你们昨天呢，就生存赛第一天你们发挥非常非常好，然后直接吃2次鸡，然后但是今天呢就是发挥稍微稳定一些。那你们是否认为可能是因为其他的战队都在针对你们，然后你们需要做出应对的措施呢？还是说你们的战术也稍微改变一点，你们在针对某一些其他的战队来让他们淹死在这个生存赛呢？
没有听太清楚，但我觉得我们这个今天没有发挥那么好，是，确实前2把手感没有打出来，对，然后，我们肯定还是想着奔着第1来的嘛，所以我们后面几局也没有放弃，还是把自己的游戏内容展现了出来，对。
I'll say today, at least for the first 2 matches, our hands weren't that hot, and we felt like we definitely didn't play to the best of our abilities. But we're still always gunning for number 1, so we are still trying very hard throughout every single match.
All right, well, with that being said, we've got some things to do, gentlemen. It's time for the fun part. Follow me, let's go over to the Crusher. It's time to crush some dreams of 10 teams. I bet this is the fun bit. They've done all the playing, they've competed here on the Gadir City grid throughout the entire of these last 2 days of the survival stage. But now, it is time to fulfill their destiny and to crush 10 keys until only 16 are left intact for our finals run that kicks off on Friday. You know the score, you guys have seen the Crusher before. It is time to say farewell to 10 of our teams who just didn't quite cut the mustard, which is what we would say in the UK. Gentlemen, step up here onto the Crusher. As you can see, it's very ethereal, it's very cool. We got smoke pouring out of it as well. Okay, now, you guys know what we're doing here. So, QZZ, can I get you to press this button and open up the iris? Press it, yeah. Oh, with a bit of vigor, I like it. Okay, we're about to crush 10 keys right now. And so, Eagle, I would like to know, what would you like to say to these teams before you eliminate them?
那我们现在要粉碎10支战队的钥匙。你在按下这按钮之前，有什么话想跟这些战队们说的吗？
希望你们下一次 EWC 的旅程能够更顺利一点。
Better luck next time on your next EWC run.
Oh, I like it. Okay, I'd like you to pull on this in 3, 2, 1. Send them home. Let's go, there we go. Woo, that's 10 keys eliminated from the ESPORTS World Cup. The PMWC has been absolutely electric for the past 5 days of competition. There's so many. And we're also going to send it over to Kalaris with a very important interview to close out today. See you in a bit.
All right, thank you very much, Barney. Yes, we are with Alula's Quick here to talk about their result and their performance, considering they are also through into the final. So first things first, I've got to get your thoughts. You guys are now in the final. What's the feeling in the team right now? You've made it into the final.
كويك اول شيء الف مبروك على التاهل، اخذتوا المركز الثاني بالسرفايفل ستيج، فاحكي لنا شعورك انت والفريق بعد الاداء الاسطوري ووصولكم لمرحله النهائيات بالبطوله.
والله شعور ما ينوصف ابدا، يعني سوينا ريمونتادا حلوه كلش، انه رجعنا للمركز الثاني وتاهلنا، الشعور لا يوصف الصراحه.
Honestly, it's an indescribable feeling. I felt like we had an incredible turnaround to get the result that we ended up with, second place. We're very happy with it and looking forward to the rest.
I think that the turnaround looks great, and you guys got yourself a first place on Miramar, and during that game especially, I think you're great at finding your timings on third parties and being able to know when to take engagements. Do you consider that one of your team's best strengths, or what do you consider the best strengths, if not that?
هلا من ناحيه قدرات الفريق عم بسألك انه انتم توقيتكم من ناحيه الثيرد بارتي ممتاز، فهل بتعتبروها واحده من الشغلات اللي بتكون يعني قويه جدا من ناحيه فريقكم، ولا ايش بتعتبروا قدراتكم وقوتكم كفريق مع بعض؟
اكيد يعني ثيرد بارتي جزء من خطه التيم اذا احنا نلعب على الاطراف، بس يعني قوه التيم انه نكون كتله واحده دائما.
I want to say our strength is, yes, it is one of the pillars when it comes to how we work together as a team, trying to third party as much as we can, especially when we play around the edge of the circle as well, and playing together as a unit. That's definitely one of our strengths as well.
All right, and the final question is, what can Alula do in the grand final? What's your expectations? Where do you think is realistic here for Alula in the final?
هلا اخر شيء ايش بتتوقع خلينا نقول اداء العلا اي سبورتس بنهائيات البطوله، او ايش من وجهه نظرك بكون اداء مقبول لك انت والفريق والمنظمه؟
متوقعين ان شاء الله اداء جبار، ندخل بقوه، نركز على التوب 1 توب 3، يعني ما عندنا شيء غير توب 3 اتوقع، يعني اقل احتمال توب 3 داخلين فول فوكس فول جديه، ما عندنا شيء نخسره، نلعب فور فان.
We have nothing to lose. We're going to play with full focus, full strength. Nothing's going to stop us. We're aiming for top 3, if not hopefully top 1. But the least of our expectations is hopefully top 3 at the end of the competition.
All right, thank you very much, Quick. Thank you, Stanson, for those translations as well. That does it for us down on the stage. Let's move on.
Shukran Sandstorm for that translation, Kalaris for the interview, and also Barney for being able to show Tiamba how to crush those skis. And what's going to stop him? I know which teams are going to stop them. Those top dogs from Group A and Group B that are currently waiting for these squads that are going to be in the finals as well, because Alula, you might have been able to perform here, but grand finals is going to be something completely different, as we're getting some class from Alpha 7 and just cheering on the players, which once again, Alpha 7, the reigning champions, the PMGC, not making it to another final.
That makes the third one. The third one they've
in a row.
In a row. Oh, I feel so bad for them, because we did see better performance in the second half of today, right? Better, but it wasn't A7 that we're used to, and so you want to know what's going on.
Oh, sorry, Natera, we gotta break it, because here we have it, the top 6 that are gonna be moving on to the finals. E-Arena makes it through. They kicked off. Wolves Esports GOAT team is not gonna make it. Ulf, with that win, Ulf is gonna be going to the finals.
Oh, that was a chicken dinner that literally kept the dream alive for E-Arena. Thailand will be making it to your PMWC Grand Finals. And you could see at the moment, there was that fight at the end on that Miramar. Al-Ula fighting Nongshim Red Force. And you can see the cogs turning in their mind. Wait, we need those eliminations. If we do not get every single one of those points, we can't reach the top 6. E-Arena, they went for the play and it was just enough.
I mean, they were not having the fact that they were pushed out of the top from the group stages into the survival. So this was their chance and their opportunity to make sure that they will cement into the finals. And I mean, after that last game, they definitely strategically played it incredibly well. You could see that they were holding on and almost going to get that winner chicken dinner. But look, this is the chicken dinner for them. They're in the finals. E-Arena.
And for Nongshim Red Force, that might have been the best game that we have seen out of this squad. The way that they were kind of splitting, the way that they were taking full control of that circle, you could tell, Max, that they wanted to be in the finals and they wanted to give you a smile as well.
Oh yeah, I'm really happy. I don't know if I would call it their best game. I still feel like their second Miramar win on the back-to-back, their second win on the Wrangle was their best game. But you know what? That was good though. Second page, dreams are being not just crushed, are being decimated. Alpha 7 getting pushed not only out of the top 6, but also out of the first page. All gamers not able to make the catch-up. So the club championship in particular, man, is going to get really close. Only a few teams can really compete for that $7 million prize pool.
And GK Esports as well, such a difficult time for them. You know, they got early in on the rotate there, but just couldn't calculate Tiamba's kind of intervention on that play. And look, sometimes that's just PUBG Mobile. But look, I think a valiant effort from them from this entire stage. But sometimes when it comes to just these ending moments, you crumble.
You do crumble, and one team that ended up crumbling were the defending champions of PMWC, as we will be crowning a new champion when we go to the finals starting Friday. So make sure you put in 14th. That's when we're going to be coming back. On August 14th, and here you have it, the teams that will be advancing to the finals. Honestly, Ulf, I'm happy to see Ulf being able to make it, but I am not impressed by your performance, Ulf.
Bro, they're playing it down to the last game, but here you go. Here are your 16 teams that have officially now qualified for your PMWC 2026 Grand Finals at EWC 2026. Tiamba, Al-Ula, Nongshim Red Force, Furia are going to be joining the ranks of those teams alongside E-Arena and Ulf. But man, you got so many big names. You got 2 teams from India too making history. 4 Thrives dominating Group A, Group B being destroyed by Team Vitality. It's still anyone's game as to who will be taking home that trophy.
I'm so ready for this weekend. I mean, who do you pick here? Who do you pick? Vitality doing epic things, 4 Thrives doing epic things, but also everybody else also doing epic things all the way around in between. I mean, we have so many massive teams. You've got the teams from India who really stepped up, really showed what they've got. You've got Vitality just dominating everybody. You've got 4 Thrives being super consistent. You've got teams like Ulf that we know should have done better. They come in the last game, and they still qualified maybe for another chance to get to the final tier, but Milu.
No surprises, Milu ends up being the top player here for survival stage. He came out of that first day that they had, especially the clutches that this man was putting up.
Oh yeah, 1v4 versus RQ. Very happy for both Milu and QZZ. QZZ being the FMVP of PMMI just a few weeks ago, realistically. But I want to say, massive highlight on Scarface.
Yes.
doing great during PMJ Season 1. You're looking at also Eren, right, the new blood of Turkey, also doing so good in that event. But Scarface, out of nowhere, he was the redeemer. He brought them back from the brink of death. Without Scarface, Ulf would not make it to the finals. He is definitely the MVP of that particular team.
100%, and we saw Quick as well there from Al-Ula being able to make it in the top 5. We still hear the drums, but these drums are not for Alpha 7. They're actually for Furia. Furia finally showcased what we have seen throughout this year, what we saw towards the end of last year as well from some of their squads, just performing at a level that we expect out of the Brazilian squads, which is aggressiveness.
They were just so fun to watch. Like, I just want to touch on the fact that, yeah, okay, sometimes they did some full send moments, and I know we like aggressive teams, but sometimes they're a little bit too aggressive with no forethought after that. But man, they're a fun team to watch, and I'm incredibly excited to see how they go against the 4 Thrives, the Godlike, the teams that can prioritize rotation, can get eliminations in any way that they want to do. So Furia obviously has a bit of a goal cut out for them, but man, it's going to be crazy seeing such a dominating, aggressive team into the mix for the finals.
Yeah, before we end it here, any final words, Neptura, before we end up going to finals?
Congrats to all 6 teams, but particularly Nongshim, because I know I keep going on about them. We know why I keep going on about them. I just need them to do more. They stepped up in a big way, particularly in that last game. We saw them go off on a bunch of different teams trying to get as many elims as possible. They still can do it, and under pressure, they do not crack. They're one of the only teams that doesn't crack under that pressure, so I need to see them in those finals. I need to see them pick it up, and I need to see them win. Watching you.
Max?
Okay, so this is not really a prediction, but looking at the level of gameplay from Group A, Group B, and also the survival stage, and out of the teams that qualified, I was not super impressed in the survival stage. So my prediction is the champions will be out of the teams, the 10 teams that qualified through Group A or Group B.
That's fair, actually. That's fair.
Ah, boy!
It's more than fair.
100% agree with you. Yeah. Lace?
I mean, can I just say, I'm just like, I know I've tattled on about it and y'all are like, bias, but look, Team Vitality, I am excited to see.
Biased.
However, Godlike, I am also so excited to see perform into these matches. And like I've said, these are just teams that kind of can cover every basis. And that is what's going to make this incredibly exciting. I know I said Furia, I'm excited to see like kind of the chaos, but they're going to have to rein it in because it's, you know, it's all about getting those chicken dinners, smash rule, right? So it's going to be a lot of a different type of format for these teams. So yeah, get your points early, but then you got to win.
I can't stay still right now. I'm so hyped up for the finals. This could be one of the best finals that we're going to have in PUBG Mobile Esports. Not only do we have Vitality, like you mentioned, a team that was able to dominate their group. We have 4 Thrives as well, being able to come out on top, and it's a team that has been performing so well. And then we have the teams from India in Godlike, which is their first international tournament in a long time. And this squad has been putting up the numbers, especially for S-Power. I can't wait to see what he's going to be able to do, especially with the confidence that man carries, right? OG, we've seen Aru being able to step it up, but not just that. Now we have some of the other teams being added to that mix. And this grand finals coming up will be one of the best ones. So make sure you tune in to PMWC at EWC 26 Grand Finals starting up August 14th, this coming Friday. Put it in your notes, put it in your calendar, put it everywhere. Make sure you spread the word, use that hashtag EWC and hashtag EWC26. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been none other than Lace, Maxman, hello, Neptura, balancing a cue car after I accidentally smacked her with one, the 7WG, and all the casters, the reporter, and also the stage host, Barney Banks. We will see you in Grand Finals.
Cantabro presents The Secret Life of Servers. Cantabro, 12 global locations, one reliable choice.
can access the mainframe, we could force Edis offline with this stop code. As Pragmata, we're equipped with the ability to overwrite a system's programming. That same power lies within you, Diana. There's nothing like that in my memory. I see. How unfortunate.
Well, let's see what we can do about that tree.
I'm sorry. I'm no help. That's not true. You've made it this far, haven't you? We can stop Edis together.
Doesn't look like we can do anything here. But there's another place we can check. We'll shut Edis down, and then we'll head to Earth.
Hold on, 8. We'll get you out of there. Thank you.
You two look like twins.
Yeah.
What's up?
8 sure seemed driven.
Yeah. Not sure why she wants to go to Earth, but guess that'll come after we bust her out. Should be another regulator down below. One that can clear that tree. Let's go find it.